Today we're going to talk about how to use Kami. So this tutorial is called Kami 101. So the first thing we're going to show you is how to install this Chrome extension called Kami. We're going to also ask you to create folders in your Google Drive and then finally go through the process of how do you open up a file in Kami and to be able to put it in the proper Google Drive to help yourself stay organized. Okay, so the first thing I would like you to do is I would like you to click onto your Google Chrome browser and I want you to open it up. Once you've opened it up, you're going to look for the corner that says app, the waffle that says apps, click on it, and you're going to go to the web store. So click into the web store, and you're going to search for Kami, Kami, and when you press enter, you should be able to see this Kami extension. And Kami extension, I'm going to click onto add to Chrome, and it's going to ask you, and so I'm going to give it permission to install it into my Chrome browser. So I'm going to click add extension, and once you've done that, you should be able to see this K on the top right corner or in one of these things. So basically, these little icons are additions to your Chrome browser. So now that you've installed your Google Kami extension, so the K should be right here at the top. What I would like you to do now is to go over to your Google Drive. Okay, so this is my drive. The first thing I need you to make sure you're doing is you're actually using your DDSB, your student DDSB.ca account. And on this Google Drive, you're going to create a new folder for this class, whatever this class did. So I'm going to click on the new, and I'm going to click onto a new folder. And I'm going to label my folder. Save this, for example, this is for a grade 12 physics class, SPH4U1. So I'm going to rename this folder SPH4U1. But the most important thing is I actually need you to put your name in it. Like say your name is Peter Fraser, okay? So I'm going to type in Peter Fraser, okay? So that's the name of you, because you might run into other folder that's just says SPH4U1. But when you know on your Google Drive that this is it, you know this is where you have saved your notes. So when you're trying to study or whatever, you always go back to this folder to find any notes that you've taken before. Then that will really help you get organized. It's almost like having a proper binder for your class. Okay. So I'm going to press create. So now say I'm trying to open up something from my Google Classroom. So my teacher have posted something and say it's asking me, oh, can you open up Unit 1, Student Lesson 1 to 4. So when I click into it, this is the PDF file that I'm trying to open. If you haven't used Kami before, and when I click on it, if I click on this, a lot of time it's actually going to take me to this text help PDF viewer. And if that's the case, that is not Kami. This is not where we're going to be taking the annotated note. Like if you can see these little icon thing, this is not what you want. So I need you to go to the back button, click back. And what I need you to do is I need you to help make the file to open up on this Kami extension that I want. So hover over this. You know how your Chromebook is a touchscreen. If you're using a computer, you can use your right click of your mouse, but I don't think your Google Chromebook have that. So if you actually press the touch screen, you will see this thing opening up, okay? I need you to go to here. Do you see this thing called Open with Kami? Click onto it. It should lead you to this other page that allows you to choose what to open with, okay? I'm gonna say I wanna annotate it with Kami, so I'm gonna click on that. And it's gonna open up on Kami. Sometimes if you haven't used Kami before, it's actually going to ask you to activate it or allow it to use your Google Drive or stuff like that, right? So I need you to say, oh, yes, I'm a student. I am grade 1 to 12, and I do give it permissions and stuff like that. I can't get to that drive because I've already used it already, okay? And every time once you've opened up a file, either from Google Classroom or your class Google site, what you always need to do is you have to save it as your own file. Because right now, this is, everybody actually can write on it and it will show up on everybody's file. So it kind of will show on my original file, okay, which is not what we want. Okay, I need you to make a copy for yourself first before you take any notes on it. So you're going to go to this download button. and you're going to choose, you can choose to save it on your computer or your Google Drive. I suggest you save it on your Google Drive because we've already created a folder there. And I want you to select with all the annotation notes. Okay, the file name, I would suggest you delete this Kami export thing. If you want to be really safe, you can just say lesson 1 to 4, and you might want it to add your own initial or something. So if I'm Peter Fraser. So I'm just going to put PF at the end just so that I know this is mine. This is what I wrote on. And the next time when I do lesson 2 and lesson 3, I want to be able to find this file to keep on going with it. Okay. And I'm going to choose select folder, and I'm going to pick the folder we created. So just now you've created a folder that belongs to you, and you see that there's nothing in it right now. I'm going to actually ask you to click back to the My Drive thing, and you actually would highlight this and you would press select. Okay. And with that done, so I've named it with my initial at the back, and I know this folder, I want to put it in this folder. I want everything else, and I'm going to say begin export. Okay, your file has successfully been saved to Google Drive. I need you to close this, and I need you to close this because this is my file. This is my file that everybody can have access to. So don't write on this at all. I'm going to ask you to close them all up. Okay, you can close everything and you should be able to test it out. I just need you to make sure you understand how to get access to this thing. Okay, so go back to this folder, right? If I go to my Google Drive and I go back to this folder that I created called SPH4U1 with my name in it. And this is the note that I actually want to annotate in it, right? If I click on this and I look at this file, do you see how this is the file that have my initial on it? This is mine. This is the one that now I've put it in my Google Drive. I'm going to click open with Kami, and now I can write on it. I know this is my note. So every time when you download something from Google Classroom, don't write on just that file. Okay, you want to export it into your own folder. And now when I open it up and I write on it, the next time when I open it up, I should be able to see the continuation of the notes. Play around with Kami. It's actually very powerful. So if you wanted to say make a highlight, you can actually say markup. And if you click the second one, it's called a box highlight. I'm like, okay, I like the word displacement. I'm going to highlight it. I like this equation. I'm going to highlight it. Things like that, so on and so forth. So other things that you can do is you can type in text box. You can just put it in, and you can start typing whatever thing you want. You can make it big, make it small, right? I don't want that. And other things that you can do is you can add equation. You can add drawing. I like to use the drawing thing because especially for science class, if I wanted to mark anything up, like say if I wanted to draw a line, I can make it thicker, and I can make a line that shows up here. Or if I wanted to do a really good shape, straight line, I can use a line like that, so on and so forth. It's very creative. You can actually have pretty good control of how you want to write onto your note. Okay, so hopefully this video is enough for you to get started. Know how to install the Kami extension, know how to open up the note, and even more importantly, to put it in your folder so the next time, because like say this package is lesson 1 to 4, I write whatever I want to write on it. I need to be able to find it. That means when I do lesson 2, you are not going to go back to the Google Classroom and download the file again, because that will be a brand new pack of file, like you pick up a brand new handout from the side, which has nothing that you wrote on. You got to go to your Finder, which is the Google Drive that you've created, and open up the correct file that you already wrote on it, and you keep going. Okay, so hopefully this video is helpful. Ask your teachers if you couldn't use it, okay?